What a night. I'm really happy to be here, back at this bar in Tel Aviv. I don't know, I'm happy to meet you all too and present myself to you because I'm different. I'm not like the other comics. I'm different than that because I'm going to win. I don't know. I'm different than them because unlike a lot of comics, I am not a disappointment to my parents. My parents are a disappointment to the family. I learned that because you go back a couple generations and I had great-grandparents. Then I had grandparents. My parents are neither great nor grand. We're on a downward slope. Luckily, though, I'm the perfect son. Yes, I'm the perfect son because like the sun, a lot of people can't stand to look at me. No, I'm joking. I know, like, what you're really thinking is, like, just, your parents on your fit. But just because you wear a white business shirt in Israel does not mean that you're successful. There's, like, none of that pressure here. I can dress as neat as I want to, and everyone is like, wow, you must suck. You probably do nothing with your life to afford those immaculate clothes. I don't know, it's, I don't know, I spend a lot of time in different environments. When I heard that I was coming up to Tel Aviv to be a part of this, I decided to research some pop culture so I could hopefully relate to fine people. I learned the midrash of a tzaddikus, the young Miss Britney Spears, and her exile from conservatorship. Maybe it's Ryan, Brittany. I learned about her from a documentary called Framing Britney Spears, which was on Hulu. And it was great. I was concerned because framing sounded like an injustice. Like a great injustice had occurred, and I wanted to investigate. And I did think so, but I also I wish Britney had a little more caution earlier in life. Because it's kind of hard to defend someone whose key lyric at one point was, "I'm not that innocent." Okay, and then she has another song called "Oops, I Did It Again." So I'm starting to think she wasn't framed, because that's a confession. She should have had a lawyer look over that song first. Tell her, Brittany, it should be, "Oops is what I would say if I had done it again." Or for the first time. Well, Brittany. But no, I'm glad she got out of that. I'm a little bit older than I look, and people, I don't care so much, but sometimes people say age is just a number to me, which is weird. I don't want to hear that because nothing's just a number. Okay, numbers are important. Numbers tell me what the temperature is. Numbers tell me what the rent is. Like, I can't just go to my landlord and be like, hey man, rent is just a number. Why don't you be more open-minded and accept this younger amount? But I get, like, what the saying means, because I have friends of all ages, older, young, like, and sometimes I get it because sometimes, like, age doesn't represent how... Sometimes there can be just truth said from kids. I'm having a hard time getting to the fact that I was an elementary school teacher over the past year for the first time. And I'm really happy to be around people my age a lot again. Because the last time I had hung out with a 9-year-old was when I was 9. And it was weird sometimes to realize, like, oh, you have ones you hang out with who, like, say funny things and you like to hang out with. But I didn't really understand what it meant to, like, be a 9-year-old. And so I got to Israel, I was new, and one of the kids tells me one week that he's really excited because he's going to go out and get Bluntstone. And I was like, Bluntstone? Like, I moved here from Oregon. I think I'm getting bong stoned this weekend, but like blunt stones, that was when I learned that there were popular boots throughout Israel called blunt stones. But I don't know, that was almost a weird encounter. Another one happened with, one of these kids just put his fist in the air one time and was tired of being offered candy from the teacher to finish his homework, and he puts his fist up in the air and says, "We don't want candy, we want freedom." And I was so ready to join his revolution. The weirdest one though was there's this kid who just out of the blue one day yells out at the top of his lungs, 42069. And I went to American public schools for a while. I know what that means. But I taught at an Israeli religious school, so they didn't know what that meant. And so I went over to the kid and asked him, like, where did you learn that from? And he told me, he was like, I don't know, but what does it mean? And I said, I don't know, like, I'm not going to explain it to you. If you know, you know. But he went home, he looked it up, came back. He told me, like, hey man, I learned what it meant. And then we just kind of didn't talk about it anymore. And one thing it really reminded me is that, like, first of all, nothing's just a number. And second of all, it's really hard, though, to explain to people that, like, when you're teaching a foreign language, not only are there bad words, but there's also bad numbers.